Today we're talking about a project that I've been excited about for a very long time, and it's finally here. It's the Average Joe's Commemorative Rifle. But before we dive into that, there's a handful of guys who already got to see this up close and personal, and they asked if this was going to be something available through TRIARC, if it was going to be an Average Joe's rifle that we would make available. Now, if there's a demand for it, we'll absolutely do it. I've already had the conversation with Chris. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, leave it in the comments below, and if there's enough demand for it, we can make it happen. Now, I know there's going to be the follow-up question of what about lead times and this and that. Lead times are coming down. They're working on that. And because this isn't a customizable rifle, it'll be just one line item set, ready to go. You either want it or you don't. But let's take a look at it. As we started planning for Average Joe's across America, I knew that it was going to be important for me to have a rifle that I could take with me across any state lines. Because some state laws are dumber than others, right? So I knew taking my 10.5 might be a headache in some areas of the country. So I knew I wanted to build out a rifle, and that's where we came across the 13.9. I knew I wanted something still short enough that if we did any like CQB stuff, I could still manage it, but also something that I could reach out the distance with because I knew I wanted to put an LVPO on this rifle. Now, if you guys saw my review on the 13.9, I had an LVPO on that one as well. That gun was rehomed to Sam, so I know a lot of you have asked about that, but we'll go more into this one. So ever since that gun was gone, I've always missed it. I've always thought about it. I dream about it. It's, you know, one of those things, it's like a bad breakup, like always thinking about her, always hoping she'd come back, and I know she never will. So moved on to bigger and better things. We've got the new 13.9, which is the Average Joe's Commemorative Rifle, and we'll kind of go through what we did with this specific build. Obviously 13.9 barrel, pin and welded with a dead air flash hider, got a dead air Sandman K attached to it. 13-inch rail, I know a lot of you guys asked, but TRIARC will direct you to which rail is best for their barrels, and it's the 13-inch rail. Moving back, we've got the NP3 mil-spec BCG, Radian charging handle, which is also NP3 as well. Radian also sent some other small pieces for photos, and I actually really like these bits on there. So they sent their Ford Assist, which is really nice, and then their backplate, which also has a QD option in the back, which TRIARC doesn't currently offer. So this might be a nice little upgrade for some of you who like to run your sling here as opposed to on the stock. It is running an A5 Voltor system, so it's a A5H2 with a green spring, Magpul MOE SL stock, Magpul MOE grip. Right now, it's got the Edgar Sherman design sling on there. I've also had the Flatline Fiberco sling on there. Just trying out different slings, always trying out different things. Also comes with the TRIARC's enhanced mil-spec trigger. Now, I know a lot of people have asked about this and how it compares to things like Geisley or CMC. Is it worth it? And for me, it's perfectly fine. I probably will change it to a Geisley, and it's just the same Geisley that I put in all my rifles, just because it's what I'm used to. But there's nothing wrong with this. It works phenomenal. And just to kind of show you guys really quick, that trigger is like, it is a single stage, so there's no take up in it, and it's immediately there, but it's a very light, crisp break. And then there's your reset. So very good trigger out of the box, keeps the cost down. So it's one less thing you have to worry about. And if you have your own personal preference, you can change your trigger out later. But that's pretty much what comes factory from TRIARC. Finishing out the build, things that I added. Slate Black Industries, their new vertical grip. Why the vertical as opposed to something like the True North that I've run in the past? I really like the True North. I just didn't have another one. And they had sent this out for T&E, so I just wanted to try it out and see what it was like. And so far, I really like it. It's been great. I love how simple it is. I love how slim it is. It feels great in the hand, and it makes it really easy to use. Then we're running the Mod Light, the tan, with the 18650, the long body, Surefire DS in cap, and then attached to a Arisaka inline scout mount. Got a full power PEC, and then a Unity hot button here for the light. And I did the offset as opposed to, on my 10.5, you'll know that I have the hot button light, or the mod button light on there. And I really like that one there on that gun. Now on this gun, I have more rail space to play with, and I like the offset here. That way it doesn't impede my grip at all when I'm gripping the top of the gun. I don't have to worry about depressing it right here. And in the future, I'll probably put one set back here, a hot button light that will be for the laser. So that's just something that I'm thinking about in the future as I work through it. But I like it this way because I can actuate the light from this side, and then when I come with my offhand, I can actuate it from this side. So for me, that really works. Right now with the PEC, in the future, I'll probably be trying out some other lasers. So just trying to leave options open. But more than likely, what you'll see is a mod button light right here. and that will go for the laser. So that way I can go light and then laser if I need to. Also running the Unity Fast scope mount with a AccuFire scope attached to it. This is their 1:8. I knew I wanted to put a 1:8. I wanted to be able to reach out. Now this reticle is designed to take you out to 700 yards. It's not a BDC. It's more like the Horus reticle, gives you windage. This is all in mils. I have reached out to 700 with it, confirmed. We did reach out to 1,000 on a very windy day, and we tried to capture footage of it. We couldn't get the drone up. And then all the footage that we had from the spotting scope was just too shaky from the wind blowing it around. So unfortunately, can it be done? Yes. We know that with the 12.5, Brandon and JT reached out to 936 yards. So we know we can reach to 1,000 with it. I'd like to go back and push that further. So maybe we'll do a long range day with the Average Joes. Now, what makes it the Average Joes specific is it has our logo lasered on it, which is the Average Joes Across America logo. And this will be unique to this rifle. I thought this would be a good point to kind of break in and explain a little bit about the new logo and the design process behind it. If you want to skip ahead, you can go to this point and you'll skip past all this and get back to the gun. But this logo design actually comes from a movie called The Warriors. Warriors, come to play! It's a movie from the late 70s, and it's about a gang who has to travel from one side of New York to Coney Island, where they're from. And their logo, as they go throughout the city, they tag the city with their logo, which is the Warriors. They leave a W, but this is the font, the design, and this is the artwork for it. And that's where this comes from, because that's what came to mind as I thought about our group of guys traveling across the nation and hanging out with you guys. Now, we're not looking to be a rival gang with any of you guys, but that's just what it reminded me of, is that as we go, we leave our mark.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
So we wanted to make something unique for you guys who are taking initiative to build community where you live, in your city, your state, and just to make sure that the 2A community survives wherever you're at. And with everything going on, we don't know what's going to happen, but the important thing is that you have a group of guys, you have a community, guys and girls, that you have a community that you can lean on, that you can depend on, that will have your back, that you train with, that you are prepared to do whatever with. And that's what this, for us, symbolizes, and that's why it's the Average Joes Across America. So now it's much bigger than just our OG patch. That will continue to be a patch. It will be for our big range days that we host here. But again, this is for you guys when we're out on the road. So looking forward to handing those out to you guys as we go out and we travel across the nation. Back to the gun, which is what you're here for. Well, again, if this is something you guys would like to have available, we would like to do that. And the difference with this would be, it would be a complete package, right? So not only would it be the gun, but it would come with the light mount, the Unity hot button, the sling, and then probably won't have an optic on it unless that's something you guys really, really want. We can work with AccuFire and make that happen. But we want to offer a complete package, something that we would recommend to Average Joes. Like, hey, this would be a good do-it-all rifle. Here's something that you can, across the country, you guys can use no matter where you're at, no matter what the laws are. And that was kind of the mindset behind this. And it was more so just for me to have the take anywhere. But then as guys saw it, they were like, hey, I'd like to have one of those. So if you're interested in it, let me know. Again, if there's enough demand, we'll make it available. So how does it perform? The thing that I missed the most about the 13.9 was how good it shot, how flat it was. It doesn't really come off target much, and when it does, it returns back really quick, and it's super, super soft shooting. The recoil impulse is very light. It feels great. It's just a lot of fun to shoot, and it was like shooting with a cheat code when I had it. Now, this version's a little bit different because it doesn't have the brake on the end. I'm running the suppressor, so it's a little bit different, but it's what I missed a ton from this gun. And you can even see it in the footage of us shooting it. The issue that you'll run into with a little bit longer package than say something like a 10.5 or an 8.3 is, yes, it is a little bit bigger, but it's just a training issue at the end of the day, right? Just learning to manipulate the gun in and around tight spaces. The bigger learning curve when it comes to this particular rifle, as opposed to shooting my 10.5, is going from red dot to LVPO. And just getting used to the eye box, the eye relief, and making sure, just getting the scope in a right position for me and for where I'm at on the gun, so that when I'm working barricades or in awkward positions that I can work around the scope and be able to see out of it and see the target and not have a bunch of scope shadow if I'm too close or too far. With the red dot, it's way more forgiving, we know that. But being able to push out to 700 yards with this is super easy and super fast with this reticle. Now, I know you're gonna have questions about the scope. Is it daylight bright? No, it's not daylight bright, but there's only, I think, 1 or 2 on the market that are. So if that's what you're looking for, go that route. But for the price, I really like this. Still only have a few weeks under my belt with it, but so far it's been great and I really enjoy it for what it's designed for. It is not designed to be a red dot replacement. So if that were the route that I was gonna go, if I needed something for that fast acquisition, like really bright red dot, if that's what I was looking for, I would probably do something like the Reptilia mount, put that on the scope and then put a red dot on top, as opposed to the offset. Now I tried an offset and it just didn't work for me, because running the fast riser and then going to a scope mount or an offset that is kind of different, it felt awkward to me. It put the scope too far over this way, and I just wasn't, I would rather have the vertical drop. That way, when I'm in different positions, I can use the rifle however I need to, because if I put it at a 45, I can only use it at that 45. So if I go offhand, if I go a weird position, whatever, I can't use it that way. And just the way that I run a rifle, I would prefer to have the red dot on top of the scope. If you have questions, if you think I left something out, if you're curious about it, if you're interested, leave it in the comments below. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Karate chop that bell so you get notified every time I upload a video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. The GOAT, Dirk. Go Mavs. Why is this so hard today? That's what she said. You gonna come in, dude? Come on.
The light.
The light, yeah, we got a new light. You see this? I have a hair light now. It's all professional. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Can you say average Joe's? Say average Joe's.
Okay, SpongeBob.
Oh, it's SpongeBob. SpongeBob is more important. This is what the people want to see. They don't even want me, they just want you.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.
See you later.
5 whole years. Bye.
Is it cookie time?
Cookies.
Okay, let's go get cookies. Come on.